Hello, everyone. Good morning, and how are you doing? Weather is so nice in UAE, all over UAE, that we all are enjoying in UAE, like nice rain, and it's cold, it's beautiful, everything is so green. So we are enjoying our time in UAE. But whichever part of the world you're joining from, please write in comments and please write how was your week? What is your plan for weekend? I'm always eager to hear your stories. And is there any something special story for this week you have? So please write in comments or write a blog, share your stories, because we all love to hear stories from each other. So just write your story and share with world. Now, before we start today's story, I want to brief you this series. I have started to share my personal stories with you to help you learn from my life and my stories, and it may inspire you at some point of time. So I love to share my personal stories, especially those who have really made a difference in my life. And followed by this, I have a complimentary workshop I want to tell you. It's on Monday at 11 o'clock. It's a live online one, but you have to register for it. So the link will be available in comment section. The workshop is about the top 10 mistakes people do while introducing themselves. So please join, please register for that workshop. It's online, 30th January, 11 o'clock, Dubai time. And you have to register to join that. Another workshop is coming up, that's on the 5th February. That is about answering a very simple question, very common question, yet terrifying question. The question is, what do you do? So that workshop, it's a 2-hour workshop, paid workshop, it's in person. And in that workshop, each person will design their own apt answer to the question, and they'll understand the whole structure of the how to give this answer based on your different audiences. So that link also I'll post in comment section. So please write in comments hello and from where you're joining. I'll be super happy to see you, and I hope you're enjoying this lovely weather and from wherever you are joining today. So let's get started with our lovely story. This story is like when I was around maybe 12, 11 or 12 years old, and we were living in a small town because my dad got transferred there. So that was a small town, and we were living there. And since it was a small town and that time it was more safe that time, so we used to go by walk to school sometimes and come. So maybe I was like, I don't remember exactly, but maybe I was returning from my classes or friend's place. I don't remember. So I was coming from my friend's home or from somewhere I was coming, and my home was at the end of the street. So I was just walking towards my home. I remember I had a bag and a bottle, and like all kids, we was just rotating bottle like this, and I was in my own world. And I was alone. So I was just coming towards my home. It was a small street. I was on one side of the street, and because my mom always used to say you should not walk in middle, you should be in the corner. So I remember that, and I was walking in the corner of street, and I was in my own world thinking about something and just going rotating my bottle. And suddenly I slowed down. I saw one old person who resembled a lot with my paternal grandfather, to whom I was very close. I used to call him the Dasa. So I saw that person and he was resembling a lot to my grandfather. So I just slowed down a little bit to observe him. And so he was like having the white hair, and he was not in the shabby clothes, and he was having a stick. So I was just trying to understand that, okay, what this person is and what does he do. So I slowed down a little bit more. And as I was walking, I realized that maybe this person is blind, because he was having a long stick, and before taking any step, he was like tapping the floor with the stick, and then he was taking step. Now, this was the first time ever in my life I saw any blind person in real life other than movies. So I was trying to observe and understand what exactly is he doing. Probably with his like attire, I could understand that he was a beggar, or he was like not having much wealth or something. So he was walking, and I slowed down further. Now he was almost in the middle of the road, so I was a bit concerned that the cars are coming. Actually, not cars, scooters, because it's a small town, so not many cars were there. So scooters, bicycles, and the motorcycles were coming, so I was a bit concerned about him, but I was a bit hesitant to go forward and help him. And moreover, I was more occupied with the observing that person, that what is he doing. Sorry. And so I kept on observing him, and then I saw he was walking diagonally. Maybe since he was blind, he couldn't make out that he has to go straight and he can't go. So, whichever way he was able to go, he was going. So, he was walking diagonally. And the first thing came in my mind was it, if he continues there, there was a drainage line going on both sides of, like you would have seen in small towns, on both side of the road, there's a drainage line is there so that any rainwater is there that can go through that. So he was walking towards that, and I was really concerned that if he goes there, he may fall. But something was stopping me from helping him because I was very young. I have never seen anybody, any blind person. I don't know how to help, and he's so elderly person. So I was like, a lot of thoughts were going on in my mind. And as he was walking diagonally, I totally stopped. I was like, just like a statue standing and observing him. What is he doing? He kept on continuing towards that direction diagonally. And I was just thinking, standing like a statue there, and I was just thinking. So, and finally, after some time, that person fell down in that drainage thing. And I felt so hurt. He got physically hurt, and I was hurt in my heart that time. And I was feeling, oh God, this person fell down, this elderly person who resembles to my paternal grandfather, and I love him so much, and this person fell down, and I am the reason for his hurt, because I could have helped him, but I was just standing there and thinking other things, that what people will say, I don't know how to help. You don't need a classes for helping somebody, right? So many thoughts were there in my mind, and I was feeling guilty. I ran towards my home. I just went on my bed and I started crying. And my mom came and she asked it, what happened? She kept on asking, but I couldn't answer her because I was crying for like half an hour or 40 minutes. And that was, I can very vividly see the whole story because I have rewinded it so many times in my mind. Every time I think, or every time I see anybody in need, I think of that person. That if I could have taken step that day, if I could have taken action that day, that old blind man would not have got hurt. And that was really life changing story for me. I was very young, around 11 or 12 years old, and it was really life changing story for me. So why I'm sharing this story with you is, if you see anybody in help, don't think that somebody else will help, because maybe the other person is thinking the same way. If every one of us will think that somebody else will help, then who's it somebody else? Why can't we be that somebody else? So if you see anybody in need, and if possible, don't wait for anybody, just go and help. That's the first thing. The second thing is that we don't need any classes or anything for helping anybody. You just need that intention and the action. So make an intention, go do help, take action. Now there is the other side of this coin is there. Sometimes you want to help somebody, but they don't need help. And they get offended that, okay, I don't need help. Why are you doing? I can manage it by myself. That's okay. Because so you apologize to them. That's what has happened with me. I once offered a chair to somebody. She was a pregnant lady and she felt offended because I was feeling that it was a long meeting and how long she'll stand. So it's difficult because when I was pregnant, it was difficult for me to stand for a long time. So I could resonate with that. And I offered my chair to her and she got little offended and she said, oh, no, I don't need chair. I can stand. I'm just pregnant. That's it. So maybe she was more stronger than me. And so that's another side of the story, that sometimes people get offended if you help them, but that should not stop us from helping others. If you see anybody is in need, just go and help them, because maybe the others are also thinking that somebody else will help, so why not we help others? Now, connected to this story, I want to tell you something else also. After that, I made a point that if I see anybody in need, and if I am able to help, because we all have a capacity to help, we cannot help everybody in every situation, that's not possible. But if you have the capacity to help, and do it. So once when like I remember that story where I was going from college to my home or towards the college, I don't remember. And we were in a bigger city that time. I was in Jabalpur, I remember. So we were going in on the, there were, on middle of the road, there was like the pointy thing, the barricades were there. And one cow, because that was some festival where the cows are decorated, so they had some hanging thing on her head, and it got stuck in that barricade, and she was trying to pull it. Now I was riding like Luna that time we used to have, and my sister was sitting behind me. We were going, and I saw while driving that she's stuck, but I cannot stop in middle of the road because I have already crossed that point. So I went, I took U-turn and come, and my sister was asking what happened. Why are you why are you just going back? Our college is that side. But I said, wait, I have to do something. We came back, we stopped in middle of the road, and I was a bit scared because the cow was having big horns, so I was a bit scared. And so I was not able to do it. I tried for 20 minutes, but I did not have the courage to go to that cow and remove. Every time I was going, she was shaking her head, and I was a bit scared. So one boy, he saw me. He was on other side of the road. He saw me that I'm trying to help her, but I am not able to. He jumped in and he came and he did it, and the cow could go. So other thing is that sometimes we feel that, okay, I'm not capable enough to help somebody, but the moment you take one step, you inspire other person to come forward and do the help, and we all can come together to help others. So like that, lot of stories are there, but the first story which really touched me and which made me think that, okay, I could have helped, but I did not do it for whatever reason. So that was really life changing for me, and I really wanted to share this story with you because maybe somebody is around you, he needs who needs your help, and we can't just ignore, right? So please write in comments, how did you feel about it, and what do you want to do in your life, how do you help people, what are your inspiring stories? Please share stories. And thank you so much for joining. And in case if you have missed, the session is available on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and later I'll be posting it on my podcast and Instagram as well. So yeah, it will be available there as well. Have a lovely weekend, enjoy beautiful weather, and take care. Bye bye. Have a nice day.